What is up, everybody? Welcome back to my channel. Today we are here at Maple Hill Disc Golf Course in Worcester, Massachusetts. We are teeing off on hole number 1. Got a real big, this is basically throwing into a headwind. We want to throw the pond. I'm going to throw 2 off the first and hopefully one of them gets over. Going from the sky stone to the gravity bomb, and hopefully we put it right at the base of the little triple mando. Oh, that tree. This guy threw off my shot wildly. I'm real glad I threw gravity bomb on the second because sky stone goes an extra 10 feet, might have been OB. Didn't miss it yet, but we're not making a bar. Well, at least you can make the most weirdest touchy controlled backhand anhyzer work for you, but we're still taking a bogey. We're not too super warmed up yet, but we have the tailwind, so I'm going to try to go with the hex. It's slightly uphill, 300 feet. Right in front of the bleachers. Let's see if the hex can get there. Well, I got lucky through everything. So we have a great placement for the other basket. But now we have a really, really long putt. Okay, easy par. Let's go see if we can actually throw a good shot in the woods today. Starting off right with the first throw, and then we might have a really good round. Hole 3, 354. You can see the basket just nice and lit up for us by the sun. We're gonna go Valkyrie and just punch it on a hyzer and hope that we get just enough drift to the right before it fades out. Nope, not quite enough drift. That's fairway though. It's a rhino. It should just sit and we have a nice easy tap in. Hole 4, just short of 250, but it's straight downhill and it is into a headwind and there's water right behind it. And it's not just water, it's ice. So if you hit, you're going all the way out into the middle. We are going to throw the rhino and hope that I can control it to just kind of hit really short on the hill. So I'll slide most of the way down the hill. Okay, or just hit a tree. I hope that I hit a tree. I didn't hear it hit anything. Not sure what I hit because I didn't hear anything. But I'm not going to complain. The putt will eventually warm up, hopefully, but we got to make sure the throws are warmed up because we're about to have to throw some really good shots. Hole 5, 252. Yeah, I think. Or 262. Not sure which one this one is. But I think best chance is just to throw the PD we have the wind pushing off of the lake. So if we just throw the PD out there on a hyzer, as long as it doesn't turn over, it should get pushed back safe. Yeah, that should be safe. Don't really care about the placement because it's not in the water. So let's be honest, the really low force flex, something super beefy to skip off the ice would have been way more fun. Way more tricky, but way more fun. Well, it's gonna start to rain it in sometime, right? Hole 6, 315 feet. Gonna try to throw a force flex forehand. Maybe. We'll see if I can hug it. I might have to switch discs. We're gonna try the Vela. Yeah, I think I can pull this off. Second tree. We did not go OB, but there's a really rude branch that stopped almost a perfect drive. We're gonna try for the flub forehand hyzer shot. The rhino. Just let the wind do the work here. Not like that though. That is a really long putt, but it is a tailwind putt, so it's possibly makeable. This is a very picturesque putt. That's an unfortunate bogey that we could have saved if we had just scrambled a little better. It's okay, we're only 2 over. Hole 7, 352. Looks like punch up through this straight gap and then you should be right there. We're gonna go hex, and this is to hit the gap, not to get the distance, because I don't know if I can get the distance right now. It might have scooted up to have a really long downhill look. This putt is tricky because I either lay it up or I run it, and I can either hit it or I'm gonna have a comebacker. So, what do I want to do? I mean, I know what I want to do. I want to run it. Can you go in next time, please? That would be nice. Into the wild and wonderful hole number 8, just short of 300 feet to the basket. It's about 250 to clear the water. It's ice though, so if you land up a little bit short today, your disc is going to be retrievable, but that leads me into an interesting predicament. No, it doesn't. I'm going to throw the safe shot, and then I'm going to throw the fun shot, but the safe shot is the one that's going to count. Vela, we're just going to try to beam it right at it, and hope this headwind doesn't shove me down. That's not even retrievable. That sucks. Well, so what we're going to do here is we're going to abandon that lie. We're going to rethrow and just count it as our first throw, actually. Forget about the abandoning the lie part. We're going to go to the PD. Yeah. It's OB. It crossed right there, so we have a place to take it up to. So we'll be putting from up there. And now the fun shot. We're going to try to skip the skystone off the ice. Get down and skip. That's fun. I do realize that since I went OB, I would be putting from the drop zone, but I would want to putt from here. And it's not a tournament, so it doesn't really matter. Okay, that's a bogey. It sucks, but it's a bogey. Hole number 9. Oh, good news. The Vela was way closer to the edge than it looked like, and it was retrievable. So we got the Vela, not losing that. Hole 9, 400 feet, you want to go up to the top of the hill and then have a placement shot. We're going to try to go with the Luna and just get straight to the top of the hill and then see where our shot leads us from there. Not the worst place you can be, because if you're going to be right, you would rather be short right. You don't want to be pushing long right. So I needed more space for overstable distance drivers. The Vela, the Fission Pyro and the Balance Prototype, both out. We're just leaning on the Proton Pyro just for this super windy round here. And we got for this shot here. As long as that sits, we should be perfect. Oh my goodness, what was that drop? Oh my, y'all saw that, right? It was chain high, and then it wasn't even safe. Looks like we're gonna take over par because of that today. Or at least over par on this hole because of that. We have chances to make up strokes. That is unfortunate. All right, if this one doesn't get over the water, we have issues. Okay, that was for birdie. So this was to save a bogey. That's a double bogey for a wind drop that comes completely out of nowhere. I didn't even feel a gust of wind. It just dropped out of the sky, and that's a spore. It shouldn't do that. Hole number 10, starting off the back 9. We are currently 5 over par. We were 3 over par going into hole 9, and it didn't work out well for us. But we're willing to overlook the wind and just count it up to we're going to be a couple more over par than we thought we were going to be just because of the wind. What we're going to do here, 276 feet, but like 50 feet uphill. So I'm going to throw the Sky Stone on an anhyzer as hard as I can and hope it doesn't burn over because of the headwind that's coming down the hill. Hopefully this works. Hopefully we get a shot at a birdie. Oh no. Well, I thought that tree was going to take it out all the way out of steam, but we got a putt. Oh, and now the wind picks up. Give it a sec. I might be able to do it. There we go. There's a birdie. Hole 11. It's 666 feet. It is on the other side of this open area, tucked up against the tree line. It's gonna be 2 big throws, especially throwing into this headwind. But even with the headwind, when I threw this one and it got turned over, it kind of went really far still. So we're still gonna throw the C-Line DD3. We're gonna play for the turn, but also just throw it on more hyzer. Start a little bit more left. We should get a little bit straighter in the middle of the fairway. I threw that instead of the gravity bomb because that one's pink. It'll be easier to find. Oh no, I threw that way too hard. Looks like another bogey might be incoming. Maybe a good putt. That's a bogey. We're back to 5 over. But this hole taught me something important. When I'm throwing into a headwind, especially if it's a downhill shot, don't try to force anything. Don't try to make anything to go big. Play the safe shot. Throw the PD2, depending on how much headwind. Throw the sky stone or the gravity bomb. And I can even, like, I got that on some anhyzer and it still faded out. So I can flex the PD2s into a headwind, whereas everything else that I have just turns over into a headwind. So trust the PD2s, throw the PD2s. We learned it just in time to have the tailwind for a couple of holes. So let's go see how far we can bomb with a tailwind. Hole 12, 525 feet. It's tail left to right wind. So we're gonna pull out the Mayhem. Just a touch of hyzer. And if it flips up and turns, perfect. If it just flips up and rides, perfect. We just want to get big distance going that way. But I mean, it's a 13-speed rim and you saw the skip. That's fine. We're gonna get a little freaky with the get freaky. That was perfect. You can draw it up. This might be another birdie. You can hear the wind on the flags. It is a very brisk tailwind. Hole 13 is 472 feet. But with this amount of tailwind and being as far and steeply downhill as it is, we can go with the Luna. Oh, if that was actually aimed right, that would have been so pretty. And just because I want to throw it on this hole, we're not going to take the where it lands, but I do want to throw it on this hole. Throw it on this hole because it's parked. Sometimes the new discs are cool and awesome, but sometimes you got to stick to old reliable. Well, gives us a putt, which is still, we still haven't got to the basket, so it's still a downhill tailwind. Oh, okay. Well, it's another bogey. We're just going birdie, bogey at this point, which means we're not getting any more overpower, but we're also not getting any less. Hole 14, we're not going to try to go for the ace skip here because of the wall, but we are going to try to go for the ace, just pure it. We're going to go with the Luna and try to ride the tailwind. Oh, too much hyzer. That'll be fine. Oh, too much hyzer. That'll be fine. Take another easy par and move on. Hopefully we can birdie next. 15, 322. This one is, it is a very narrow tunnel that gets narrower as it gets closer to the green. We're gonna try to go with the Luna again, and I can throw this at least 300. So if we throw a 300 dead straight, we have a 20-footer. Look a little bit more. That's not great. Well, it's not terrible. We can do better. Sometimes I get good at scrambling. Hole 16, 364 feet. It's slightly to the right, but it's pretty much straight. You can see the basket from the tee pad, and there's nothing really in the way except for a V tree kind of right in front of the basket. So you just hope you can get lucky to one side of the tree or the other. We're gonna throw the hex and just try to put it flat, let the disc do the work and drift off to the right. A little short left, but that's the fairway shape. Oh no, that was terrible. Okay. par, tap in par. We can birdie 17, and there's a possibility of birdieing 18. Let's see if we can make it happen. Hole 17 for 33. We gotta hit this gap and then get as far as we can because it's a par 4. It's a big old dog leg to the right. It's a lot shorter at the other dog leg side, so big drive and then chip shot for your approach. We're gonna try to make it up there with the trace. Perfect. Just right there on the side of the hill. That's all we want. This actually, I'm normally a little bit shorter, so turns out a proton trace skips on dead grass pretty far. Imagine that. I am actually pin high, or almost pin high. I can see the basket. We're gonna try to put it close with the Rhino. It is a right to left though, so I think forehand is the play. Oh, that tree is not where we wanted to be. We throw such a good shot, we throw such a good drive, and then we cannot capitalize. That's what you cannot do on a course like this. Okay, all comes down to hole 18. I think we are currently still sitting at 5 over. Might be at 4 over. Hole 18 is just short of 560, but it's a par 4 and it's uphill. And by uphill, I mean that rock is about 1.5 feet higher than the tee pad is. Yeah, it goes uphill. I'm gonna go for probably the best chance we have of getting way out there into the open. That's with the Mayhem. Okay, now we have a shot. Got about 270 to the basket still. It's uphill. We have a bit of a tailwind. I'm gonna try to go backhand turn over with the Luna. If I get it high enough, should have enough glide to push. I think I overturned it and it cut rolled, and now we're still short and we have a chance. All right, last chance for a birdie. We're sitting at 5 over. Let's see if we can make it 4 over in this super cold, super windy round. Cloudstone throwing. Throw in, but parked for a par. We're finishing at 5 over with some of the weirdest different little tree kicks and wind redirects, and it was an interesting round. It was a fun round. If you ever get a chance to come play a course with water hazards when it's had a long time to freeze, you can throw some really fun shots, but also be careful that you don't get a little bit too aggressive, because if the Vela had been a little bit further from the shore, probably would not have been able to get it. So make sure you're paying attention to where you're throwing, what you're throwing, and how you're throwing. Go out and play some fun courses. Doesn't matter what the weather is. Go out and explore your disc golf dreams. Until next time, please make sure to like the video if you want to see more. If you want to see new stuff, comment everything else down below. Please make sure to subscribe. It helps you guys out with these subscriber-only giveaways. Definitely helps me out as well. And until next time, I will see you all out on the course.